Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Jackass, the movie, the first one. And this movie came out in 2002, and I believe, was based off of the TV show Jackass, which aired in 2000 and had 3 seasons. And I think I've seen a few episodes at the very least. I don't think I've seen an entire season. If I have, I don't remember. But this movie, from what I know, it was like a big deal when it came out, and loads of people loved it, and it was pretty successful, and it's pretty much responsible for making Jackass as big as it is. And it is kind of like a nice time capsule film, capturing what people found to be really hardcore entertainment back in like 2002, or maybe even not even that, just like the early 2000s or pre YouTube. Maybe you could say late 90s, of like what people wanted from something like this. And they made it, they delivered on it, and it had a $5 million budget, and it grossed almost 80 million worldwide. So that's pretty good. And I have seen all of these movies before, but it's been a while. So rewatching this one was kind of almost experiencing many parts of it for the first time, mostly because this was the one that I kind of remembered the least. I do remember parts of the third movie, and the second one is definitely the one I remember the most. And that might be my favorite, although I need to rewatch it to really know how I feel about it. But the humor in this movie connected with me very well, and in my mind, when I think about Jackass, I think of all these crazy, ridiculous stunts that all these different guys pull off, and it's really funny and entertaining. But I also forgot about the pranks. That was really fun and entertaining, and just these little bits to like keep you entertained. And there's no plot. It's just a bunch of different shorts of like these little skits of just let's have an idea that's not very long. It's going to take a couple of minutes to show off, and we're just going to give you a little build up and give you like a name for it maybe, and just go with it. And it was very, very funny to me, and I really love the tone of this movie. I love the approach and how they managed to do all these different things. I have no idea how it would have turned out behind the scenes, because I'm pretty sure some of the stuff they're pulling off would have gotten someone to call the cops on someone or whatnot, but it was still funny to watch. And I also just love how committed these guys are to these bets. You can feel so much love, care, and passion put into all of them, and it really pays off. And it kind of feels like all these things, they only have one take to go with, and it's just like, oh, whatever we're gonna do here, first take, best take, and it still pays off and works pretty well. And I do kind of like how it kind of highlights how they're really great stuntmen, and they're willing to do anything really, and it really shows you, oh, they're doing a great job, and you can tell it's all real, and it never feels fake, it never feels phony. You can tell that they're going through a lot, and like, I know a lot of people point out that movies should be awarded for stunt work. I do feel as though these movies kind of also help to highlight that yeah, these guys are actually putting their lives on the line and actually doing a lot, and it really pays off. And this movie stayed consistently entertaining for me. I was always with it, and I just loved so much about it, and all these different skits. It's just really funny to me, and it's memorable and fun. And I was surprised as to how much this movie was shot in Japan. That was one thing that I actually didn't remember about it, but there's lots of Japan in this movie in terms of like the location. I thought that was kind of interesting, and I did get a sense of the environment somewhat. You don't really get a whole lot of wide shots, but I do feel as though it's done well enough. And I do also feel as though this movie, in ways, is kind of responsible for what we got in like YouTube and all those like early videos that we got. And I remember way back in the day, there was a YouTube channel just dedicated to doing like a parody of this. Instead of just Jackass, they called it Horror Jackass. And obviously, at the beginning of these movies, they say, the following is done by professionals. Do not attempt to do any of this at home. And at the Horror Jackass thing that was on YouTube, they said, the following is performed by horror monsters who can't die, which I found to be kind of funny. But obviously, it's not advisable to, like, repeat these stunts that they're doing. But with that being said, I can definitely tell that you love what you saw, and you're kind of paying homage to it, and just having fun with it, and not taking things too far, or at least I would hope not. But to get into some of my issues with this movie, there were some bits in this movie that didn't work as well for me as others. I know that's kind of like a small complaint. And also, one thing that kind of surprises me about this movie, maybe it's just because I watched the unrated version of this movie, because that's what this collection comes with, is just the unrated version, is that there's lots of male nudity in this movie. I was surprised by that. Just a lot of naked dudes. So if that's just not going to be something you want to see, then that's just not going to be something you want to see. And the only other issue that I have with this movie would be just the look of it. I know it was shot mostly with digital cameras, I believe. And it's kind of doing the crank approach, or at least like Neville Dean and Taylor do with whenever they shoot on really low quality cameras, is that they're risking their lives to get certain shots in, and they just use cameras that are kind of disposable so they can do multiple takes of it because they're trying to make it look real. And I get that, but at the same time, kind of wish that it didn't just look like a TV show for most of it, and just the colors are just kind of flat and boring and just like raw footage and nothing more to me. And I don't know, maybe I was just wanting a little bit more, but I remember feeling as though the third movie was like a little too detached from that. And what I mean by that is like going in the opposite direction, where it's like, yeah, it doesn't really feel like the same thing anymore. But who knows, maybe I'll feel differently when I rewatch that when I get around to it. But as is, still really enjoyed this movie. I love what it is, and I'm happy that it exists, and I'll for sure be watching it again. It's very entertaining to me. It delivers on what you would want, and it just, if that's what you're looking for, then you're going to be enjoying it the entire time. If not, then it's just going to annoy you the entire time. So if you like Jackass, check it out. If you don't like Jackass, don't watch it. And I'm on the side of just enjoying it quite a bit. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Jackass the movie a 7 out of 10. Can't believe it's been nearly 25 years since this movie came out. And I don't want to finish everything without mentioning Ryan Dunn. I thought he was really great in this movie, and definitely adds a lot, and he will be missed. Rest in peace. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of Jackass the movie, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Practical Magic. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.